A couple weeks ago, I was sharing with my chiropractor everything that had happened since the last time I saw her a couple months before. And in this case, it was a lot. I had had a cancerous tumor removed, and another health issue that I thought that was going to be a big problem had disappeared miraculously, probably because of the antibiotics that I took in the hospital. And then lastly, that I had been told that I have something called Lynch syndrome, which essentially means your DNA isn't working right, or the repair system for your DNA isn't working right, and it puts you at a much higher risk for all different kinds of cancers. Scary stuff, really. And my chiropractor was kind of shocked that I was taking everything as calmly as I was, and that I wasn't showing a high level of anxiety about it, I guess. And I was calm about it, and she told me it must be all that mindset work that you do, and that you practice on a regular basis. And so, I got to thinking about it after I left the office, and I realized she's probably right, that there are a number of strategies, I will call them, that I've used for handling the intense emotions that come up with various life situations, whether it's something that makes you really angry, or whether you're dealing with intense grief, fear, like in this case with the possibility of a much higher chance of getting cancers, any number of emotions that you're feeling can be handled by some of these strategies that I've learned. And so I thought it'd be really great to share them with you here today. One of the easiest ways, hands down, to manage your emotions is to tell yourself, I'm just not going to think about this right now. I'm sure you've probably done that at some point in your life. I think we probably all have from time to time. And it does work until it doesn't. And the thing is even if you stuff all those negative emotions so deeply down inside yourself that you think you've entirely forgotten about it, they're still there eating away at you unless you resolve whatever challenge you're going through. And for this reason, it is really helpful to have some strategies for handling the difficult emotions that you get when they arise. And since this is something that I recognize that everyone deals with, I have put some of my favorite ways for handling emotions into my self-love journal. And these are the ones that I'm going to share with you here now. I am going to share several different strategies with you, because sometimes it seems that one strategy might work better than another, just depending on where you are at the time, what you're dealing with, the intensity of the emotion that's presenting itself, that type of thing. So you're going to want to have all three of these in your back pocket for when you need them the most. The first one that I highlight here in the journal is to label difficult emotions when you feel them. And to do this, you are simply going to name whatever it is that you're feeling when you're feeling it. So, for instance, if you are feeling angry, you could label it by saying to yourself something like, I am feeling anger. Or if you're feeling sad, maybe you say something like, this is sadness. And there have been quite a lot of research that has been done into the study of the effect that labeling has when you label your emotions. But one psychiatrist in particular, Dr. Daniel Siegel, he's really well known for the phrase, name it to tame it. And I kind of like that, so I thought I'd share that with you. Anyway, research has shown that labeling your emotions in this way diminishes their intensity. And I'll go ahead and share a link to Dr. Siegel's YouTube channel in the description for this video, just in case you want to learn a little bit more about his work. So the reason that this process of labeling works is that when you name the emotion, it really shifts you out of being whatever the emotion is to more like viewing the emotion. And at that point, when you're viewing it becomes a little easier to decide what you're going to do about it. So here's a few questions that you may want to ask yourself at the point when you've named your emotions. So the first one is, what choices do I have in this matter? And what do I really want? And what can I do about this now? Another strategy is one that I like to call tiptoeing around with curiosity. So for this one, I will go ahead and read a little bit about it straight from the journal here. Okay, so this one was tiptoeing around with curiosity. One way of handling fear, pain, and other strong feelings is to tiptoe around the edges of whatever's causing the discomfort with intentional curiosity. Rather than going straight to the root of the issue, where things may be a bit too intense, find a small aspect of the situation to explore first. For example, instead of looking straight into the events of a betrayal, you instead choose to first be curious about why this person may have been unhappy or scared. Or maybe you reflect on the events leading up to the betrayal, yet far enough in advance of the actual breach of faith that then you can allow yourself to feel any emotions that surface. As you do this, you want to let curiosity of how you're feeling and why you're feeling this way to be your guide. And like in the case of a betrayal, maybe your curiosity leads you to recognize that there was a time where you sensed that things just weren't going quite right anymore, but you decided to stay in the relationship anyway. And if you're able to see something like that and acknowledge that you made this choice, then in this case, it may allow you to regain a small feeling of personal power, because there's a tendency to feel this loss of personal power when you feel that someone has betrayed you. So that can be helpful. Through being curious and leading to some understanding can really help with feelings of compassion or self-compassion or any number of other emotions that can really be a whole lot easier to handle than whatever the difficult emotion was that you started with. So the last strategy is to breathe into whatever it is you're feeling, to tell yourself it's okay to feel like this, and then to use your breath to help you keep calm and again curious about how this emotion feels in your body. Deep breathing activates your parasympathetic nervous system, and it really helps in doing this to calm your body. You can reassure yourself, tell yourself that you're safe and that you're choosing to feel this emotion right now. And so then with each breath that you exhale, you can imagine that the emotion is leaving your body, just gently being carried off on the wind of your breath. And you just continue to breathe like this and imagine in this way until you actually feel that intensity of the emotion begin to fade and to dissipate and hopefully go away entirely. So hopefully this has been a helpful video for you today, and you can remember these 3 strategies for dealing with difficult emotions. They've helped me so much over the years, and it's my hope that you'll remember them when you need them, and they will help you too. Thank you for watching today. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing with friends and family and anyone else that you think might be helped by these type of videos. And until then, I'll see you next week.